Welcome to Reading the Room, where we explore the intersection of creativity and intuition. Hosted by Michael Frontier, a clairvoyant and architect of the soul, and his co-host, comedian Bente Engelstoft. Each week, we invite artists of all disciplines to pull back the curtain on the how and why of their craft. This is a sanctuary for creators, a place to bridge the gap between your work and your gut. So settle in, take a breath, and relax. Let's read the room.
Hey everyone, welcome to Reading the Room with Michael Frontier. Please say hello to my co-host, Bente Engelstoft.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Bente. How are you?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you have a good week?
I did. It was nice. I love the rain. Did you guys get rain in Palm Springs?
Oh my God. So, I'm from Chicago, but I now live in Palm Springs. And so, Chicago weather, it changes every 15 minutes. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Here, it rained.
It did.
It was on the news. It was like breaking news. But, before I lived here, I could not figure out why is rain such a big deal? But now that I live here, I understand the urgency of the flash floods and, because we got hit hard. But, oh my God, it's such a beautiful respite. A gray day with clouds and rain, we get 5 of them. So it's a really big deal.
It was so nice. I loved being cozy and making stew and having an excuse to stay home. And it was so nice.
I made a big pot of butternut squash soup.
Yum.
And oh my God, and got some really good bread. And that's winter
great
to me, right?
Yeah.
Hearty. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
My husband John made naan from scratch yesterday, and we had dal. It was so perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Okay.
I love that he's handy in the kitchen.
Yeah, me too.
Not. But you are.
Not your thing?
Not. Well, I can make things not raw, but I can't make them taste exceptional.
Yeah. Are you from scratch, or is it?
Well, I like to put that pressure on myself. I learned that it's my ADHD that whenever there's high stakes cooking to be I won't cook Monday through Friday, but
Sure.
Suddenly we're having 8 people for dinner, and I'm like, that should be my
That's
job.
mine.
And
then
then
the most difficult and complex recipe, right?
And then I want to prove myself, so then I absolutely go for scratch. I'm like, I can't buy this already made. I have to buy all the 12 ingredients that I'll never use again.
Well, I do want an invite to that dinner party.
You got it.
Yes, please. And you know what else? How many followers do you have on Instagram?
Oh my God. It's like asking a woman her age, Michael.
I'm asking for a reason because I just found something out.
Okay, I think I have
You're young.
4,500
Oh,
followers.
wow.
Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I have 461.
It's very close.
But I'm telling you that because I've about a week ago, I, throughout the pandemic, I was doing these meditations on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And this past week, with the world and everything that's happening, I just thought, oh, wow, it would be nice to go live and, just take people through a half an hour meditation. So I'm logging on, I'm on Instagram, and I'm looking for the live page thing, whatever. And so there's nothing. I'm not the most tech savvy, but I could figure this one out, right?
Yeah.
So I go to Google, and I'm like, how do you do a live feed? And I found out you need 1,000 followers on Instagram to go live. So I need followers. I need people to follow me.
Get on
so
here.
I can go live and do meditations with you.
Let this man go live.
Come on. I wanted to share a gift and, I was denied. So,
Oh, no.
So what's the math? I need 539 followers.
Oh, we can do that.
Get me to 1,000. So
We can do that. That's no problem.
So I just want you to know I had an account prior that got hacked, and then Instagram and Facebook kicked me off. And so I took a 2-year respite, which was really quite lovely.
I was just going to say.
But because of work and, just keeping my name out there, it was unnecessary. So I went back to it. So I'm slowly, and I kept it private for a while because I didn't want to get hacked again. I'm not inviting any hackers in. I'm just telling you the story.
Yes.
So,
Hey,
I need to get followers.
Please, would you please follow Michael Frontier?
And you know what, too, Benda? This past week, A24 has been on my mind quite a bit. The movie film company, and like we dig their movies, we dig their films. You know, so like Moonlight, The Brutalist, I did like Lady Bird. So you know, I'm thinking like we need to have somebody from A24 on the show.
I love that idea.
So I don't know who we know, but, you know, we're going to just start putting it out there because we want to talk to you guys. We want to, you know, find out what makes you tick and, you know, your intuition and everything else. So
yeah. And so often, like A24 will often also attach their names to things that have already been made. So like, I'm so curious about how they're choosing their projects as well, you know? Like, I wonder what they look out for because everything's so unique and different. And I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and choose us because we're already made. So look at they come.
This is the movie.
Come play with us, right? So So anyway, I thought I'd put that out there, and you know, for you and even for our listeners, you know, if there's something that you seem to be thinking about during the week quite a bit, like bring it up, let us know because, you know, there's got to be some intuitive hit behind it, and we can do a deep dive into that. So. Like for you, Benda, like keep a little notebook if there's like a recurring theme.
I will.
You know,
something kept coming up this week. I can't remember. There was a word that I never use, and it came up like 2 or 3 times this week, and I didn't write it down, but I should have. And I always wonder about stuff like that. Like what message am I getting right now? Well,
yeah, because I mean, I'm here.
Yeah,
ask me.
I will ask you.
Because I love this stuff. Right?
I wonder, is that something we could offer to folks? Like,
my God.
Like, ask Michael a question.
Yes. Now you're reading my mind. Yes, because we want to open this up to our audience.
Yes.
And we could have a whole episode of, you know, ask me a question and I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. Oh, my God. Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you need to like from folks? Like their name and the question.
Name and a
just the question. Great.
The name is perfect because they'll know who it goes to, and we can always let them know. And you can reach out on Instagram.
Yes,
please. If you follow me, or Benda, my
don't bother
Instagram.
Me. Just kidding. Please message me.
So and I was thinking, really, come to me. But if they send them to you, I won't know who.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll keep it anonymous.
So I'll keep it as pure as I possibly can. Please reach out to me. It's not a problem. But you know, I'm trying to prove I'm not making this up. And so
you have nothing to prove.
You know, that's the old wounds that are still being healed.
Yep.
But my Instagram is michael.frontier. So if you want to send messages that way, and it's for the show.
Yes.
So it's for the reading the room with Michael and Benda.
Yeah. If you're interested in it, send your question. Let us know if we're allowed to say your name.
Yes.
And, you know, if you want a slightly longer a question, then you book a private, reading with Michael Frontier.
Yes.
And if you just want me to give you my unsolicited advice, with
oh no, you're going to be answering the questions with me.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we're doing it together.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So what I was thinking was you would answer the question first, and then I would come in with the
real answer.
Well, I didn't say that.
No, I did.
But I think it'd be interesting to see the, you know, where we are alike and, you know, different life experiences and how your intuition works. I trust and honor that. So I'm not the only one that can do this, right? Don't you think that would be fun?
I would love to do
Me too.
Literally, giving my opinion is my favorite thing. So,
you do that well.
I don't even need an invitation most times. We have an ongoing saying in my family and my parents and I where we go, you know what you should do? Like that is, if we had a podcast, that would be the name of it.
I know a lot of people like you. So I get it. So I'm very comfortable with that.
Good.
Yes. Success isn't just about what you build. It's about the internal framework that supports it. I'm Michael Frontier, and whether we're reading the room on the podcast, sitting for a reading, or beginning our coaching work together, my mission is the same: to help you shed old patterns and move forward with a grounded spirit and a fluid heart. When you align your intuition with your intent, you finally reclaim the lightness of your being, step into your purpose, and leave with permission. Connect with me at michaelfrontier.com. We are going to go to our first guest, which is my co-host, Bente Engelstoft. Bente is a truly versatile artist known for her work as an Emmy Award-winning writer, director, producer, actor, and comedian. Her credits include the films Dinner Party Dictator and Bitch Ass, alongside countless other film and stage productions. She currently hosts a popular monthly variety show called Oral at the Elysian Theater in LA, and she is the co-host of the wildly popular and successful podcast Reading the Room with Michael Frontier. So we can intuit some of the introduction. So
I love that.
Anyway, hi, Bente. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be the first non-Michael Frontier guest.
Well, thanks for doing this with me. And just so everybody knows, this was an idea that Bente had, and she approached me with it, and I loved it. And I'm hopeful that you guys are all enjoying what we're presenting. So,
yes.
But back to Bente. So, reading your history, and it's like you've had a really diverse career.
Yeah.
I was wondering, when did you start acting, and what initially drew you to the craft?
Ooh, I probably first started really tried it for the first time in middle school. We had something called forensics, which I still have yet to figure out where that name comes from, because it's not anything to do with police work. It's truly,
right.
It's you're doing these monologues and these 2-3 person scenes, and you're going to competitions with them. So you're going to neighboring schools, and you're doing I guess it's kind of like debate club, except we're not debating, we're just presenting comedic or dramatic monologues and scenes. And we also did a little bit of improv there, and that really tickled my brain. And so I always was drawn to theater and performing, always doing little shows for my parents and stuff like that. And I loved watching Broadway musicals. I thought that was the thing. That's what the ultimate, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah.
I had no singing or dancing skills, but that wasn't going to stop my imagination. And then, I just always loved it, and always wanted to make people laugh.
That's pretty cool. I've never heard of that program. That's actually really, really interesting. I wonder if that's still being offered. Were your parents actors?
Oh,
or
no,
involved in the arts?
No, my dad is very business logic minded.
Yeah.
Although loves films, loves books, and excited about storytelling and media, but not actors. He did do some watercolor painting. He was a painter a little bit, just casually. My grandmother, his mother, was an artist. She was a oil painter, incredible artist. And my mom, while not a artist per se, I've always thought my mother's been a wonderful writer. Anytime she writes a letter or a note, it's really beautiful the way that she uses language. And she's also just a very bombastic person. She's just big and loud and fun. And I think that's probably where I was I learned that, if you're funny and silly, people are attracted to that. They want to be part of that. And that was very much interesting to me.
Yeah, I came from that background as well, with big, loud personalities. And I always wonder, what's it like for a parent who is not in the arts, but they produce this child that, and it's ooh, I can talk to the air.
Yeah.
There's no rule book to begin with, but then you've got this sensitive who is just larger than life, and knew who she was when she came, and did you feel like you were able to conform or fit into, societal constraints?
That's interesting. I'm an only child, so I lived in the bubble of my parents and I, and my mother's family is in Mexico, my dad's family is in Denmark, so we really were a little island, just us in the States. And so at home, I was there was a lot of room to be silly. There was no one really to tell me that I was being weird or strange. And then you go to school and you go, oh, okay, I sort of have to be a little bit more like everyone else. And I definitely tried to fit in so much growing up. Yeah. I think having parents from other countries really makes you want to conform more, because you're I don't want to be the weirdo. I don't want to stand out. I want to be like everybody else. I'm an American kid,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh. Do you have dual citizenship
I
or
do.
do you really? Good
I
for
do.
you.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you thought about like pulling those passports out and
All
getting
every
out of
day.
town?
Every day. Every day all the time.
Okay, well, I want a dinner invite and I want to go with you if you're
Yeah,
leaving.
let's
So,
go on
no,
vacation.
wow, good for you.
Yeah.
So then could you go live and perform in other countries if
Yeah, so I
you
looked into it.
wanted?
I
Ooh,
looked
how
into it, and
cool.
I could in
What a
Denmark. I
gift.
can I could go there tomorrow. Mexico, same thing. I have passports for Mexico and Denmark. I don't know if I'm
Oh
supposed
my
to admit
God.
that. Um,
Good
but
for you.
so like I could, and we talked about if we wanted to move to Denmark. Like what for me, that'd be very easy to just go and move it, find a place and start working. My husband, on the other hand, Denmark's cracked down a little bit
Okay.
on like handing out their version of green
Okay.
cards and work visas and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
interesting that a lot of other countries are kind of modeled after America now with making it more
Yeah.
difficult for entry and, you know.
Yeah.
So, wow, but wow, that's pretty cool. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That there's like freedom in that, you
There really
know,
is, and
just
it almost
knowing.
feels sort of like unfair in that way, where I'm out of here, but all of the
Yeah,
people I love and care about are here, so I don't want
sure.
that,
Yeah, no, no, but you know, what a beautiful starting point for you.
for sure.
So that's pretty cool. But back to you and your work. You know, you're a multi hyphenate.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, you know, how do you transition your mindset between, you know, writing, directing, producing, acting? Do you prefer one over the other? Uh, does one of those roles inform how you do the others?
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't even like make a conscientious choice to like switch between them.
Mm,
I think it is the fact that I am so like I only got diagnosed with ADHD in the last couple of years. I was like, what's going on here? And women
mm,
are severely underdiagnosed because we don't
mm.
present the same way that little boys do when they have ADHD. It's not hyperactivity necessarily. So for me, it's so helpful to be like, I'll be writing on one of my projects, and then I'll get an email about a script that I'm for a show I'm directing, and I actually quite love being able to switch brains
Mm,
and give that part of my brain a break while I focus on this other thing. So for me, it's very helpful to jump between the many things that I do. It keeps my brain like running and active, and it also
sure.
allows me to be better in my other jobs because I understand so
Ah,
many facets of
yeah, yeah,
of uh of this sort of live performance, and now for like TV, for example,
yeah.
and film and things like that.
Huh.
But yeah, they all inform each other. They all help with each other. I really think
Sure.
that anyone who moves to LA, for example, and or any big city that wants to pursue something creative, it's so helpful to be sort of a little bit of a jack of all trades, or a few
Absolutely.
anyway. I think
Yes.
when I meet actors who are just actors, you are you're relying on a writer to write something for you,
Yeah.
a director to choose you for this project. Your creativity is dependent on someone else, and that to me is incredibly limiting, and I can't operate like that. I
Yeah.
need to be making stuff all the time, and
Absolutely.
if I can't make a play, then I'm gonna go make a painting. You know, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it has to come out of me one way or another. And I like the mediums that allow you to do it yourself. I love
Yes.
this podcast medium
Yeah.
because we don't have to ask for permission.
Right.
When I'm painting, I don't have to ask for permission.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're trying to make a career and have people pay you, sure, you have to, you know, consider other people's opinions and so on. But I think we get so caught up in creating on what other people are going to think, and that is such a killer of creativity.
Mm,
I think it was Rick Rubin who says in his books that the audience is the last person you think about.
yeah.
Like, you can ask specific people for feedback that you trust and things like that, but ultimately, when you're working on something, this should just focus on making it, getting it out of your system,
Mm,
and then worry about the audience later.
yeah. You know, I heard a similar story about Robin Williams,
Mm,
and probably early in his career, stand up, you know,
mm.
whatever he was doing, but I think it was stand up and perform at a club. And, you know, I'm making this number up, but like 100 people in the room. And there was one guy in the audience who was not laughing. And so Robin Williams, honed in on that one particular guy because he was going to make him laugh. And as soon as he got off the stage, the realization, like his words, I think I'm correct, I'm repeating this correctly. It was like, don't play to table 36. Like, don't play to that one person. You've got 99 people who are on board and want to move forward with you. It's like, that guy probably did not come in happy. So, there's nothing you can do that's going to make this an enjoyable experience for him. So
that's exactly it. You can't be worried about it. It's also that mentality of everyone has to like the thing that I do.
Yes.
And it's so not. I'm still learning that where like you make your stuff for your fans.
Yeah.
And to me, I interpret that to mean the people that it resonates with, those are your fans.
Yep.
Don't worry about your neighbor who came to see the show. They're not a fan. They're your neighbor. They're your friend. Your friends aren't necessarily always going to be your fan base. Not in like they're not going to support you. They're just not necessarily be for them.
And I want to honor something you had said earlier about, like you're talking about writing for your fans and your people. I do readings and I work with a lot of artists, and a message that had come through so often was, so many of you are waiting for somebody to write something for you. And the message that would come through was like, nobody knows you better than yourself. Nobody knows your voice better than you. So write your own material.
You've got to.
Especially now, especially with the world that we're living in and the industry, how much it's changed and how few companies really are out there. It's like, it seems like there's 3 companies now that are making movies or, I mean, it's getting smaller. So, and it's natural. Like these are your gifts. You know this stuff. So do it.
And it's I understand people's hesitation because it costs money.
Oh, sure.
And even if you have like that, $100 budget, you have your iPhone and that's all you have. I know it's not going to look like what you pictured up here. I know it's not going to be perfect, but think of it more of as a proof of concept then. Like you just have to use what you have and
absolutely
make something.
You know what though? Terry and I had a company in Chicago called Terry's Toffee. We sold it. We don't own it anymore. But that was all on a shoestring budget. And we were on Grand Avenue, West Town. And like, you want to have a nice window. And I kid you not, our windows cost us $5 or less. Our staff would be there with their construction paper and scissors and glue, but they're so earnest. I'm telling you, we had the cutest damn windows. So there's something about relying on like not a big budget and what you can pull together and imagination. You guys are all improvisers, like what you can pull out of thin air.
Yes. And you could have had a beautiful gilded window.
Oh my God.
And it would have been gorgeous. But there's something about like the actual employees caring enough to use their own creativity to make something that like will draw customers in. Like, oh, this feels like a neighborhood spot that I want to support.
Yeah.
Not some big conglomerate of toffee.
I can share. Right. Exactly. So we went and did this show it was December, World AIDS Day. So in Chicago, they would do this World of Chocolate event. And so, of course, we want to support the community. And so we go, like, we're a brand new company and we signed up late. So, we get our table, and Terry and I used to host these Academy Awards parties. So we had like this gold lame and whatever. And so like we show up and we put our table together in like 10 minutes, like the drapes, the toffee's out, us, we've got big personalities. And so, but there were people there who were like the chocolate mountain and the chocolate river. And I'm talking like huge displays. And so long story short, they're giving out awards. We didn't know that there were awards involved, but we won this award for our display.
Stop!
And it was like, there was no thought. Like, it was like, we just had our stuff. We pulled it out. And these guys who worked months and months on their production, and I could see them staring at us like they were mad. And we're like, we took our little award,
thank you.
Chocolate martinis and, so, but I mean, it ties into what you're talking about with, that natural ability to create.
Yeah.
you know, and I think you're a master of it, you
Oh,
know.
thank you.
Um, you kind of touched on something that I wanted to ask you. Like, is there a significant difference between working in film or television as opposed to doing something on the stage?
Yes, I think so. Or I feel a huge difference. I think when you're working for camera,
Mm,
it's actually so technical that it's so much more about camera placement,
mm,
lighting. You're going to walk from this part to this part. There's not really much room for improvising on most sets, because we need to be able to cut this together,
mm,
so it makes sense. And if you say a funny joke from this camera angle, but then when we reset it, you don't do that joke again, or
sure.
you say it differently and it doesn't,
Yeah.
it's there's a lot less room for discovery once you're filming. I feel like it's
Uh,
very planned.
okay.
And in fact, I think a lot of actors will say that, especially on things like commercial sets, like if you're doing a commercial for like Kellogg's or whatever, you are another prop. You are
Mm,
which makes sense. It's a commercial. It's not necessarily a piece of art. I won't say that making commercials isn't art. I'm sure there's art in it.
sure. Sure.
But
No,
in
of
terms of
course.
like you're like, oh, it could be, wouldn't it be great if I did this? They're like, there's none of that. They're like, no, we need you to bring the spoon from here to here within
Mm,
this many seconds. I did this commercial for like it was like a Christmas commercial, and I had to come in and sing Christmas carols for the audition, and I was like, oh, I'm not a singer, and they're like, oh, that's okay, we want real people, like we want it to be
sure.
real people, and it was
How
all
real?
and I'm like, here I am, and they had these like they were like songs written to the tune of existing Christmas songs,
Mm,
but about the products we were selling,
sure.
and we're really squeezing words into where they don't fit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so I sang this little ditty 1,000 times, as many different ways as I could. And then each time, like, Benda, could you just do it just a little bit faster? And you're like, da, 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 and you're trying to fit all these words. So it's so different.
Yeah.
And with theater and the shows that I tend to do, I do a lot of comedy. I do love improv and sketch, which is like total freedom. There are no parameters. We don't even have props on stage. We're making everything up, and there's so much freedom in that. And then even when I'm directing like a solo show, which is what I
Mm,
often end up directing, and I
mm,
really enjoy doing, um, it's so collaborative with the artist that I'm working with because it's their
yeah.
story and
Yes.
their vision, but we get to devise it together. I'm like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if it looked like this? And what if we
Yeah.
did this and pulled this then to raise the production value? There's so much more room for like creative brainstorming and creative
Sure.
solution finding. That exists on sets too, but I think
Sure.
as the actual actor or you don't get to have as much freedom because everyone else
Sure.
is making decisions without you. You
Sure.
just need to make sure you're standing there
Yeah.
when we need you
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I know you love all of it. I just listening, it sounds like the film might be a little more restrictive. And
It's just a different
it's just
type.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I thinking as creators, you want that expression and, but I guess it all works.
And
It's
I'm
all
sure
good.
we'll have a filmmaker on here who will say the complete opposite, who's like, I
Sure.
love the way we do this. It's
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
me personally, the live of it is really like what's so exciting. And I love that
Sure.
once you get to put it in front of an audience, um, there's nothing left we can do.
Yeah.
It's going to go the way that it
Yeah.
goes. And if things mess up, we'll fix them on the fly and
Sure.
no problem.
I have a question. You mentioned the ADHD. Does that present differently on stage as opposed to something you would do on film?
Ooh.
I hope I'm framing that
I
well.
I'm trying to the way that I'm interpreting that for me, I don't know. I think that my ADHD really presents when I have to sit down and focus, like
Uh,
memorize lines, and in which
yes.
case both
Yeah.
of those would be the
Sure, sure,
same.
sure, sure.
And then once you're on set, there's just so much going on, or when you're in rehearsal, so much going on. I'm able to focus for a few hours at a time.
Got
Like
it.
I'm like I
Yeah,
can
I
like
get
lock
it.
in, and then I have to.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think they sort of it enables and inhibits me in the same ways. Yeah.
Sure. Interesting. Okay. Um, you know, I think for most of us, well, first I want to mention this to our listeners, whoever we're talking to, we've all had a past and, had funky experiences and like sometimes it's important to touch on them, but
Mm,
like we're really not trying to breathe life into old dead stories. But
right.
however, I did want to ask you, I'm for most of us, we've all had jobs that were, a dream job that didn't necessarily turn out to be a dream. And I was wondering for you as a performer, actor, have you ever been cast in a job and then realized, oh, wow, this is a toxic environment, or wow, this is,
Yeah.
I'm working with people who, perhaps I thought one thing of them, the public image, but then, wow, working scenes with them is markedly different.
Yeah. I wouldn't say as an actor necessarily I have, but
Yeah,
I've definitely had jobs here where, especially early on when I got out here, I'd heard you hear stories about the
yeah,
industry and how people can be mean and there's
sure,
yelling. And in my mind, there's absolutely zero reason to ever yell
yeah,
unless like there's a fire. Like,
sure,
but
yeah,
yelling at
sure,
somebody who works for you is
sure.
so um idiotic and
Hmm.
immature. Like,
Hmm.
control yourself. Anyway,
Hmm.
that's a separate feeling. But
Hmm.
so when I heard that, I was like, yeah, but I mean, like, it's not. That's like the really bad cases, you know.
Yeah.
But I did find myself working in a couple of jobs where it was a toxic workplace,
Mm,
and even being in it, because you have nothing to compare it to.
sure.
At least I didn't. I was like, this is what it's like. This is what they told me. So I just have to operate and do the best that I can and keep my side of the street clean and
Mm,
make sure that I'm taking care of my people, the people that I'm
sure.
working with, and trying to keep us, out of the crosshairs.
Yeah.
Um, but in those situations, it's really hard to be creative. It's
Hmm.
really it's sort of
Mm,
interesting how a lot of places will
mm,
think that fear is the way to motivate folks,
yeah.
and I
Mm,
just don't understand that. I'm like, yeah, in the short term, maybe like a threat could get you, but like the idea, but if you have everybody on the same page of we want to do a good job because we love this,
yeah.
like you're gonna have a much better time and a much happier time.
Yes.
And unfortunately, like so many I'm sure with so many industries, there's never enough time or money.
Sure.
So everyone's like super tense. And at the end of the day, it is a business. It is about making money. In my more depressive moments, I have
Mm,
referred to it as the stuff that plays between the commercials. So that's
yeah.
how sometimes it could feel where you're
Sure,
like,
sure, sure.
what am I doing? This is not what I signed up for. Like
Yeah.
when I was in Chicago doing comedy, I hadn't even considered doing film and TV. I was like such a theater person. And for me, like I I thought, okay, I love doing this. How can I do it as a career?
Mm,
And the closest thing I could think of from improv, because in improv you're not making money unless you're
yeah,
teaching, in
right.
which case it's like
Yeah.
which I have done. I
Yes,
made
of
my
course, of
little
course, of course.
$300 here and there, but nothing huge. And I thought, well, the closest thing to doing that is Saturday Night Live. Like that was
Uh,
always my goal. As a
uh,
young person, I was like, I want to be an SNL. I want to be Molly Shannon. I want to be Tina Fey. Like and 30, like I grew up watching these shows and thinking like
sure.
these funny women, like
Very funny.
I want to do what they're doing. And they
Yeah.
went to Chicago and they went to Second City, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So that's what got me to Chicago, and I had the time of my life. I loved living in Chicago. I loved doing comedy. And then choosing to do SNL, I didn't do, but choosing to audition for SNL and doing well. I got to go do the producer audition, which was very cool. I've done it a couple of times. And as I've moved to LA and seen like how it all works, I'm like, oh, this is actually not the same. And I'm not speaking about SNL, and now I'm talking about like
No, I
just
know. I get
comedy,
you.
TV, and film.
Sure, sure.
This actually is nothing, very little to do with what I enjoy
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And I have to think about it as a different beast. I still enjoy it. I still love. I was just in this more like serious dramatic film, and it was like the first time I had to like cry on camera, and it was a real like fun challenge for myself because that's not something I've really spent much time doing. Crying, yes. Acting, crying, no. So it's just I think the realization that that's actually like separate, and I can still do both has been a release, as opposed to trying to say no, this is supposed to feel like the thing I love. It doesn't. It's something else. So I'm having a better time these days.
Good for you.
Realizing like, this is for fun. This is for work. That's okay. It's all good, and it's all good, of course. And it's actually allowing me to enjoy all of it
the
more,
whole process,
because I'm not comparing it to something else. Yeah.
And just going back to the original question, so like you're at this job now, a couple of jobs you mentioned, like how soon after you were there did the cracks appear?
Like right away, like right away.
I know, it's like heartbreaking.
It was like day 2.
Oh no!
We had there was an incident, and it wasn't like anything. It was just somebody's birthday, and they got an erotic cake, and and like these are people who've been working together for years. They're friends. If my friends and I pulled out an erotic cake, no problem. But like it was this thing of like it was day 2 on a professional job, and I'm looking at a pair of boobies. On and you gotta go, and like, and even that's not even like that. I wasn't even offended. I was just sort of like, we just had that whole Me Too thing. I guess this is different. And you're like sort of justifying, and it's so small, right? All those little what's the word I'm looking for? Like those little moments of like, those red flags. When those red flags appear, you're like, that's weird. And then they add up. So oftentimes people ask me about working with this one particular place. Like, I'm like, I have to tell you 20 stories so that you can understand like the full picture. Yeah. Because if I just tell you one, you'll be like, oh, well. I mean? No, I know what you mean. And then you feel a bit crazy. Yes. But I was at one of these jobs for 3 years. Wow. And it was, the most money I've ever made, the best job I've ever had in terms of like as a professional, and a dream job. And ultimately I was so unhappy. I was so deeply unhappy. Yeah. And I'm like, it's crazy that I'm finally doing the thing I want to do, writing comedy, and I'm having a horrible time. Yeah. And I remember hearing about Michael Frontier, and I'd heard him we were named for years and years in Chicago, but like never like thought anything of it. And so I met with Michael when I was deciding whether or not I should leave that job. And the thing you said to me, you said many wonderful things and helpful things, but the thing that really sticks with me that you said is like, whether you stay or go is the right decision. And I was like, thanks. But what I now realize that it is like, you were telling me like, everything will be okay no matter what you decide to do. Meaning, if you decide to stay, you will survive it. Everything will be okay. But if you decide to leave, which is the scarier option, like saying no to money and security, you will be okay. Yeah. And that was 100% true. Like the year after leaving that job was really difficult. There was a lot of like questions of self-worth and like my ability, because a lot of these places use fear to motivate you to, hey, the budgets are getting tighter. We can't keep everybody. You want to keep everyone happy, don't you? And you're like, yeah, I do. I'm grateful. But at a certain point, you can't do that at the expense of your own well-being and your mental health. And it affects all parts of your life, Absolutely. And I was not being creative in my own life. I was fully just stuck in this work cycle.
Oh boy. Yeah. And it's like the golden handcuffs.
Completely.
You're making a couple dollars and wow. Oh boy. Well, hey, why don't we take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our adorable guest and co-host, Bente Engelstoft.
Hey everybody, it's Bente Engelstoft. Are you familiar with that Sunday scary feeling? Me too. I'm someone who deals with anxiety, and the best thing I've found to treat it is to work with my hands. I love to make art, and so I've started the Sunday Scaries Art Club. It's an art club for adults. Find out more at Sunday Scaries Art Club on Instagram.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking to Bente Engelstoft, and I have a follow-up question. We were talking about work environments that are somewhat difficult, toxic, and, a couple questions was I always think about women in the industry, your industry in particular. It's, we still live in this patriarchal society, and, whether, it's actors, writers' rooms, whatever the case may be, but it still seems like a boys' club. And I'm not saying that there aren't women have broken through, but, it still seems kind of antiquated with that energy. And I was wondering if that had been an issue for you.
It's so funny. The way that I was raised, my dad would never let me use my gender as an excuse. Like, my dad was very much like, of course you're the same as everyone else. And like, why you could do anything anyone else wants to do. And it's very Danish of him. And even now when I tell him stories, he'll be like, they said that to you? Like, there's sort of like this disbelief of like, he's living in a future I want to live in, where everyone's equal and it's all based on merit. But absolutely, I mostly notice, not so much when we're talking about creativity, but specifically with like speaking up. And I'm keenly aware that my male counterparts can get away with saying things that I can't. That if I point out or I say, then I'm a bitch. I'm being an asshole or whatever. So, and also when you're raised as a woman, you were told to make nice, to be good, be well behaved, and it's for your own safety.
Sure.
To the point, so like, it's this weird thing where I just, without even meaning to, I'm always thinking about or weighing the way that I speak and the way that I do things, because I don't want to be misinterpreted or misunderstood. Which is also probably why I'm so long-winded, because I'm like, let me fully explain what my thought I'm feeling. Yes,
sure.
Big time over-explainer.
But that's part of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Fawning is over-explaining.
I do that.
Yeah, I've done it as well.
Not to.
So I know.
And so, there's that. And also it's just a male-dominated field.
Sure.
Comedy especially. And
sure.
a lot of folks, I have friends who've always encouraged me, you should do stand-up, you should do stand-up. And I'm like, I don't want to be the only woman waiting, or one of two women waiting to go do my set at 10 o'clock at night.
Sure.
To a crowd that is here to see, someone yell about Obama. I don't know.
Sure.
It just does. It doesn't feel welcoming, and all my admiration and support of women who do stand up. I love watching women do stand up because they always have such interesting and unique perspectives, and they're bringing shit to the table that like no man would ever dream of. Like, it's very cool, and I think you find that a lot of. Well, I'm gonna say something that I don't know if it's 100% true, but I'm just feeling in this moment. Sure. Which is like, you have these male comedians who grow, they get big, they get famous, they become millionaires, and then they kind of lose touch with like what the everyman is dealing with. Whereas I don't think that's as much of an issue with female comedians who become rich and famous. They're still able to like touch into the humanity of it.
Interesting.
And that's always more interesting to me.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I agree. After you had left, you stepped away from these jobs, whatever the projects were. How did you feel?
Scared and, sad and.
You're stepping into the unknown.
Yeah, I think it was for a full year that I was dealing with, a little bit of PTSD of
Mm,
just like the feeling is so like I'm not good
sure.
enough. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough for this. I'm not smart enough for this. Like, it's just like completely downing every part of me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the truth. Like, it was so crazy how someone can rock what you know about yourself so fully.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it really was talking to you as well. The other thing you said to
Sure.
me is you're not afraid of failure, you're afraid of success.
Yes, that's true for a lot of people.
Yes. And I'd never heard that before that point, and it really resonated with me, and I was like, why am I holding myself back? Why am I creating barriers that don't exist? Like, I'm always talking myself out of doing things. I'm like,
Mm.
ah, it won't be good though.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I haven't even tried yet. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But then after a while, I would say after the first 6 months, I was when that show went back to work and I heard that ain't nothing changed, I was like, I
Yeah.
feel great.
Yes. You're
I'm so
validated.
glad I'm not doing that anymore. I'm so glad
Yeah.
that I'm not having to cry in my car. Like I'm so relieved.
Yeah.
And I was lucky that I got a job before that year after was up, and was working in another room, and it was so nice to be like, okay, actually I have something of value, that I bring something to the table.
Sure.
And it like reminded me that, oh, this is still something that I'm good at and should
Yes.
be doing. Then the strikes happened, and
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sort of,
Pandemic and strikes and everything
yeah,
else. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So I was like, huh.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Do you have any regrets about being there, staying there, leaving? Like, would you have handled
No,
it differently?
no,
No,
no. I would have
you
done it
couldn't. You
exactly. I
did it.
couldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I did everything that everything sits well with me. I don't regret
Yes.
anything I did or said. I'm like,
Yes.
no.
You did it. And you handled it with the information that you had
Yeah,
at that time.
exactly right.
So, yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
It's a really big deal. I remember that. I don't always remember the readings, but I do
Yeah,
remember that. And I know that was really significant.
yeah,
So, but, you did it.
yeah,
And that's what I always celebrate.
yeah.
That's a big deal.
I now I can recognize it with other people too when they're just
Yes.
telling me
Yes,
about,
yes, yes,
and
yes,
I'm
yes,
like,
yes.
get out of there.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
worth
yeah,
it.
yeah. Do you have any advice for somebody going through a difficult situation in the workplace? Was there something that somebody could have said to you that would have been helpful at that time?
Hmm. I That's so hard to answer. You're so in it. You're so
I
lost
know
in
it.
the
I know.
sauce
Oh,
that
I know. I know.
I don't know that anyone could have said anything.
Yeah.
Or we were saying everything. Like, I
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah.
we were all going through it together.
Yeah.
The joke we kept saying is like, we're in purgatory. This We're
Oh.
all dead, and this is where we're
Ooh.
stuck.
Oh.
We're all ghosts. So
Oh.
I think, commiserating with colleagues is a good thing,
Yeah.
but there comes a point where, like, you also have to, decide, like, what's my sort of line,
Yeah. Yep.
and yeah, I fought as long as I could, and I
Yeah,
said
I
all
know
the
you
things.
did.
Yeah. So, and then I reached a point where I was like, oh, I can't change this place, but I can
Right.
stop it from changing me.
You just hit the ding, 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 ding. We can't control others.
No.
We can do our best to create boundaries, but we can't. And that's where, for lack of a better word, that's where you won,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel that way.
So yeah, big time. I actually have some advice
Oh, I'd
to
love to hear it.
the question I just
Yes,
asked you, because I
yes.
thought, because if you were sitting with me for a reason, with me for this particular reason, an answer that would come through is like, learn your lessons before you make the move. Like, what are you supposed to learn? Like, I always approach it with like, what good came from this?
Yeah.
Okay, so something good came
That's
from it,
great.
but like, learn your lesson, because I swear to God, if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to go from one job to the next, and all you're doing is changing faces. If it's a relationship, you're just changing faces. So, like Benda said, she spoke up. It was not being received well. There was not going to be any changes, and she took agency. She took over and decided, hey, this is not for me. I'm not changing this industry. I've made a dent, but not enough for me, and I'm moving on. So something good came from it. And ultimately, the most powerful piece of advice I can offer is take all the emotion out of the decision making.
That's
And this is
hard.
where I know it is. Believe me.
Yeah.
And this is where your faith comes into play. This is where, the surrender, because wow, you're making a couple of dollars and now we're not. We live in California. It's a very expensive state,
Yeah.
So, and I know that there were savings, but it's like, the way your industry works, it's just so fickle.
Big time.
So, but for you, Benda, I know you scored, it's not scoring points, but I really don't know how else to say this, but like scored points with the universe to trust that you were going to be provided for,
I think that is exactly it. I think when you can receive information from the universe, but you can also tell it. I remember you saying to me, like, the universe is going to test you.
Oh, yeah.
After you've made a decision, it's going to test you to see, are you standing on all 10 toes for that? Like,
yes.
And sure enough, I got asked by somebody that I worked at that place with to come work on another job, but it would have been very similar circumstances. And I said, no. I said I can't go right back into the same thing. Even if elements have changed, I know what the bigger picture is, and I can't be part of it. A year later, same person approached me again. Wow. And I was like, I'm continuing to get these tests. And you know what? This year, when things got bad, I reached out to them. I said, hey, remember when I said no twice? Turns out I'm in a different place and I need insurance. So, like, it's not perfect. And you know what the universe said, girl, because you said no twice before, we're going to help you and you're going to get a no.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it was for no reason to do with me. It was a no. And I'm like, thank God I didn't get that. And they were like, absolutely, show up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Like, I would have been horrible. So I'm relieved for the tests. And it's helpful to identify what's for you, to learn what's for you and what isn't. Like,
man,
it's the
you're
biggest
preaching
gift
right now, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, we actually have a question from one of our listeners. It comes from Terry in Palm Springs. I wonder if we know him.
Oh my God. Thank you for listening, Terry.
Yes, Terry. Thank you so much. And Terry's question is, he says, Benda, looking back on your life up to now, what life experience stands out as a moment when you strongly connected with your intuition and didn't act on it? And Terry's, it's a two-parter. His second part was, what would you do differently today?
Okay, something where I ignored my intuition.
Intuition kicked in and you did not pay attention to it.
Ooh, okay. When I was in Chicago, I got out of this very serious relationship with somebody who had a lot of health issues, and I became sort of their caregiver. And when we finally broke up, which was very much an intuitive moment of me going, I actually have to get out of this. The world sort of opened up. I had so many opportunities suddenly appear that weren't there before. And I was like, this is so exciting. This is the universe speaking to me. And I got to take advantage of everything. And one of the things is there was a theater in Chicago that I really wanted to be part of because a lot of my friends were. And I'd heard that the people in charge weren't great, but I was kind of like, yeah, but how often am I going to run into them, And I ended up getting on this team. And I was there for, I think, almost a year. And I stuck around even though the vibes were not right. Like, we just weren't meshing as a group.
Yeah.
There was tension. There, I could feel resentment from people. And I thought, it just takes time for people to gel. Let me give this a really good shot. And I was operating from a place of, you wanted this.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to stick it out, and you have, and even if it doesn't look exactly like what you wanted, you really wanted this, so now you have to live with it.
Yeah.
That's sort of like an old mindset of mine where I have to like see things through, where I'm like, because if you stop, you're a quitter. And I don't want to be a quitter. Like, that's like a really horrible thing in my mind was to be, right? And when I finally left that theater, it was because I had a work conflict. I had lost my job and I was working as a hostess at this restaurant downtown in Chicago, and like the hours were like, late nights and of course the weekend, which is when our
Sure, of
shows were.
course,
So
of
I like
course.
let the theater know, like, unfortunately, the guy who runs it, I was like, I'm so sorry, like I got a new job as a hostess and I gotta be there and I gotta make money. And he goes, oh well, good luck with showing people where to sit. And I was like, thanks, asshole. Like, what
Yeah.
what a shitty thing
Oh
to
God.
say. You
Yeah.
think
Yes. Yes.
and I
Yeah.
was like, you
Yeah.
know what? That was the
Dream crushing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was the
Yeah.
confirmation of like, you know
Yes.
what? It's good. It's good to
Yes.
walk away
Yes. 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 Yes.
because
Yes.
this isn't.
Yeah.
That's not helpful. That's the
No.
response should have been like, "Oh
No.
man, we're sorry to see you go. If
Right.
ever your
What can we
schedule,
do to get you to
yeah, or
stay?
let us know if your schedule frees up. Well, of course, we'll welcome you back."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh God.
and I was like, "This sort of nastiness, yuck." Like, I
Right.
get out of here.
Right.
So, but it took me a long time
I
to kind
know.
of. And it took that job stepping in, which I only
Yeah.
lasted 3 months in
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
hostess.
Pick a table. I'll meet you there.
No, yeah. I wish. It was more like
God.
Bente table 32. And I'm like,
Yeah.
which one is that? There's only that many tables, Bente.
Yeah. But, and, having gone through that experience, I'm kind of helping answer question number 2 is you wouldn't accept somebody treating you like that today.
Oh, yeah. What was question number 2? What would I
Question
do
number
differently?
2. Yeah. What would you do differently?
Oh, what I would do differently now is I'd give it a few weeks and then I'd go,
Yeah.
nah.
Right.
Like, I'll give it a
But-
shot, but I'm just
yeah.
not going to bend over backwards
Yeah.
to make something a fit when I
But-
can tell that it isn't.
That's significant.
Yeah.
And trust me, there's somebody listening who needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward to your show Oral. What inspired you to create such a fun monthly variety show?
Yes. So Oral started as a weekly show in Chicago at The Annoyance. It was a storytelling show that I produced with my friend Aaron Diamond. And we loved it because we were like, we're going to book comedians and we're going to have them do storytelling pieces, which means that we're taking them out of their comfort zone of like joke, 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 and having them actually sit with something and like for 8 minutes tell an audience like a real story, start to finish. And it was so fun to watch comedians be vulnerable. Loved that. And also still funny. They're naturally entertainers, And then when I came to Los Angeles, I did it for as a monthly show for a year, and I loved doing it. And then it went away for a while because I was producing it all myself, and like producing is truly my least favorite thing to do. It's so much organizing, and like that's where I struggle the most. So my friend Peter approached me. Peter's a stand-up comic here, and he's so funny, and we've been friends since Chicago. We did Second City together, and he was like, why don't we put Oral on, but we made it more of a variety show, and it was all like oral arts. And I was like, love that. That sort of takes sort of like the stress of it. We can book almost anyone that we like as long as they're using their mouth. And we started doing it at a few different spots. We really jumped around before we landed at the Elysian, and we've found our home there. And it's a small show, but anyone who comes is like, holy crap, the vibes are immaculate. And I'm
Big
like,
time.
it is. The performers are always excellent. The audience is right there with us. It really feels like, I would say, a Chicago show.
Sure.
If for those of you who've done comedy in Chicago, you know what that means. And if you've done comedy in LA, it can be hard. It can be hard to find a warm room who is on board with everything.
Yes.
But the Elysian is just the perfect spot for us. We love it.
I love it. And I got to be a part of one of your shows, which was such a blast for me.
Oh my gosh. We loved having you. We have to have you back.
I would love to come back. I would love it. I'm inviting myself back.
Please. Wait,
yes.
Are you in town for Christmas?
I am.
Well, I'm not going to make you drive from Palm Springs, but
right.
the 26th, we have a Christmas show.
And I wanted to ask you, is there like a set date for your show?
Yes, we're fourth Fridays.
Every fourth Friday.
Fourth Friday of the month.
at the
8:30.
Elysian.
Yes.
8:30. So good. So yeah, if you guys are in town, please come check it out because there's some really, really talented people who are giving it their all. And I'm telling you, for the cost of the ticket, it's a bargain. Believe me when I tell you.
Oh my gosh, we've had Michael as an intuitive. We had a guy who is a sex worker porn star come on and sing. We had we've had storytellers, comics, musicians.
Wow.
We have a choir.
I love the choir. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys are good.
Yeah, Christmas, we're going to have a Christmas concert with the choir.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Good.
That show is so special because it is a space of like, let it rip.
Yeah.
If you've got a weird idea, come do it here. We'd love to see it. Yeah.
Yes, please. I will imagine, is the podcast a little, is it freer? Is there more creative license here?
I think so.
I think so, but I don't have anything else to compare it to as far as your stage and theater experience.
Well, I think about it this way. When I'm on stage, I only have 5-10 minutes.
Sure.
Here, whole hour.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do a deep dive.
We got them stuck here and they have to listen to us.
No. Yes.
No, I for me, this is yes, creative, but I'm so excited to talk to other people and how they do it.
Yeah, same.
What are they doing? Their challenges, how they overcame them, because I think you often work sort of in a bubble until you talk to somebody else.
Sure.
And you go, oh, how are you doing that? And it's so helpful to be collaborative.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I have 5 rapid fire questions for you to answer.
That's so fun.
Don't overthink it.
No.
This is you learning how to work with your intuition. This is true for everybody. Don't edit the answer. Just go with the first thought that pops in.
Okay.
So if you're ready.
Yes.
I'm ready. So, and you guys can answer at home.
Yes.
What does your intuition sound like to you?
Oh, it's physical to me.
It's yeah. So that clairsentient.
It's my gut for sure.
Yes. When do you feel most in your element or connected to your inner knowing?
Ooh. When I'm in nature.
Perfect. That's beautiful. What's the best piece of advice your intuition ever gave you that you actually listened to?
Get the hell out of there.
Is there one common belief about intuition that you'd like to debunk?
Ooh, common belief about intuition. I think the idea that intuition is a full sentence has appeared in my brain and that is the information. It's never, for me at least, it's not that spelled out.
Sure.
It's subtle and you have to learn to tune into it. And then it becomes less subtle.
Right. What is one final thought or pearl of wisdom you want to leave our listeners with about trusting your gut?
Oh my gosh. I feel that if you can really learn to listen to your gut and find the best. I remember Michael telling me that there's nervous excited, like you're going on a roller coaster, and there's nervous like dread. And so learning that nervous isn't always dread.
Yeah.
Because for me, that it was distinguishing the two. Because for me, if I was feeling any sort of anxiety, I'm a very anxious person. So if I was feeling any anxiety about it, I was like, that must be wrong. And I was like, actually, no, you can also be anxious in a good way.
Yes.
I even tell my actors that a lot of times we're like, I'm nervous. I'm like, you're excited.
Yeah. But that's
because they're right next to each other.
Yes,
they're right next to each other.
Absolutely. Hey, anything we need to know about your future? Anything coming up for us besides oral?
Oh my gosh, you guys
got
to come to Oral. I'm in this film that hopefully will come out in the next year, The Peel, and I'm writing another narrative podcast that's about my relationship with Chris, the guy who had all the health stuff, and that's sort of my I've been trying to write this for 15 years, and finally in the last year I've been able to crack it. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And it's I always tell my solo actors talk about vulnerability and don't worry about the funny, that'll appear on its own. And I've really had to listen to my own advice while writing this, because sometimes I'm like, is this too heavy?
Sure.
But I think it'll be right for the fans. as we talked
It will
about,
be.
like the
Absolutely.
people who
Yes.
are interested in what you have to say.
Absolutely. We are going to go into a meditation. I just wanted to share something with you. I've got this little, if you're watching me, you can see I've got this little uh, thing. It's like a statue, but it's the word be. And then it came with a bunch of cards. I got it at the Milwaukee Art Museum. And so I'm going to pull the deck of cards out and I'm going to have Bente tell me when I'm going to shuffle them and have Bente tell me when to stop. And that's going to be our word and our intention.
Are you shuffling right now?
I'm trying to pull them out of the.
And by the way, B, my initials.
I didn't even think about that. Very cool. Oh, wow. Okay, so here we're doing a quick shuffle.
And
shuffle.
Stop.
And the word that we chose for them is be honest. So look at how perfect.
That's great.
So why don't we go into a meditation? It might be a shorter one today, but as long as you're not driving, close your eyes, take a big deep breath, breathing in. And we'll just do a little chakra clearing. So we're going to close our eyes, take a big deep breath, breathing in, and we're going to imagine that healing white light entering in through the very top of our head, our crown chakra. I'm just allowing it to slowly center each chakra as it works its way down through the soles of our feet. Pay attention to your body if you're getting any responses to that energy as it moves through. And go back later and pay attention to it, but giving yourself permission to be honest with yourself, with your feelings, what you desire. Be honest about what you're asking for. The people you're choosing to spend time with, spending time, that's currency. Giving yourself permission to release, relax, let go. And just slowly coming back into your body, trusting you'll remember whatever you need to remember. On behalf of Bente and myself, thank you so much for listening to us. And if we happen to look good and sound good, then we need to thank our production team, Jonathan Coulomb, because he's doing a phenomenal job behind the scenes. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for sitting with us today. We hope you're leaving with a little more clarity and the permission you've been looking for to create on your own terms. Remember, the clearer your intention, the faster the universe responds. To join our community or to book a private session, visit michaelfrontier.com and follow us on Instagram at michael.frontier and Bente Ingrid. Keep trusting your signal, and we'll see you next time on Reading the Room.